look at number 18. Okay, we want to find the polar coordinates given rectangular coordinates. All right, so we have been given 1, -1. This is x and y, and we want to find the r and the theta that correspond with that x and that y. Okay? This is easy. We just draw a picture of it. So over 1 down 1, right? This is r. How would I find r? Pythagorean theorem, right? So r is √2. It's a 45-degree angle. You know that because the sides match. But that isn't the answer. That's not theta. This is theta. So we're going to take 360 minus 45, so that would be 315. And there are your polar coordinates. That goes right along with number 17. 17 is the same thing. Remember, the problems on this are all in pairs. So 17 is -1 √3. That's the x and the y that are given in 17. So here's r. What would r be? 2. 3 plus 1 be 2. Now you need to recognize this. This will be a no calculator problem. Remember on the exam, half no calculator, half calculator. You need to take your own calculator because nobody there will have one. How big is that angle? It's across from the √3. That's a 60. But don't say 60. Looking for r theta. R is 2. Don't say 60. You got to say this. What angle is that? 120. There we go. There are the polar coordinates for that ordered pair. Okay, so we just did 2 of those. Okay, Suzanne? All right, anybody else see something you have a question about? Otherwise, I'll just pick one. By the way, the line in between 40 and 41 separates the calculator and no calculator parts. Okay, so I'm just going to randomly pick a number. How about 23? Remember, you want to get as many problems right as you possibly can. So this one should be an easy one. You should be able to get this one right. 2 times b. What would 2 times b be? 2 -4. It'd be 2 -4. That's easy. What do these things mean, these bars here? Well, they're the symbol for absolute value, but in vector land, they mean magnitude. So if you drew 2 -4, that's the double vector there. If you drew 2 -4 over 2 down 4, this is the magnitude. How will you find it? Pythagorean theorem, right? So that'd be what? The square root of 20, which will reduce to 2√5. That seems easy enough. 31. I'm just randomly picking problems. 31. All these are on the exam. So any ones we learn are going to help us. 31 says find the sum of 2 plus 1 plus 1/2 plus 1/4. Now you will have a reference sheet that has formulas on it. Okay? What's going on here? Huh? What do we have have here, folks? Look at this set of numbers. What's happening?
Oh, you're adding.
I'm adding one.
You're decreasing. Times by.
By negative 5.
Multiplying by 1/2.
I'm multiplying by 1/2. Which makes it what kind of progression if you're multiplying by 1/2? Geometric. Right? Now, do I know how many I'm adding up? What does that dot 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 mean?
Infinite.
It means infinite. And you have an infinite formula. It will be on your sheet. That's your infinite formula. So we plug in a sub 1, which is 2. And the ratio, which you told me was 1/2. So we have 2 divided by 1/2, which is 2 times 2, so the answer is 4. Sum. That's what we're looking for, the sum. Okay, let's look at a calculator problem, number 41. Okay, what am I looking for? I'm supposed to find side B. Anybody have any ideas? Maya?
73 over B, like, is equivalent to, never mind.
Well, you can figure out what you need.
Oh, you can do 180 minus those,
So, first of all, I will find the measure of angle A, which, as Maya said, is easy because we know the angles of the triangle have to add up to 180. And now,
73 over.
actually, Maya, it's sine 73 over B equals sine 25 over 6.1. Kids, that's called the law of sines. It's a biggie in math land. So this is what we're solving for, so we'll cross multiply. B sine 25 equals 6.1 sine 73. So then we'll divide. And B equals 6.1 sine 73. I'm going to make sure I'm in degrees. Divided by sine 25. And I got 13.8. Does that ring a bell? From a long time ago? How about 51? I'm just randomly picking problems. All these are on the exam. Every single one of these. So we need to know how to do all of them. Find the height of a tree. So here's the tree on the ground. Find the height of the tree. If a worm on the ground, 37 feet from the base of the tree. Everybody okay with where I'm putting the 37? Has an angle of elevation of 32 degrees to the top of the tree. There's your picture. Jabron, why do you have ice on your head?
My left hip was kind of swollen.
From what?
I don't exactly know. I just woke up. It's alright. Chill.
Okay, did Mr. Hunker see it?
Yeah. He's looking at the eyes.
It doesn't hurt?
He looks like he got funny.
Did you bump your head or something?
Probably in my sleep or something. It's kind of crazy.
It's really big.
Why are you
It looks like you gotta be. Look at his hand.
Somebody playing something.
I didn't think it was this big of a deal, honestly. I just had some ice in my head. I didn't know that. I'm glad that so many people care about my health, but
Does your mom know?
I mean, I hope she took me to school. I hope that she knows something. I didn't want to talk about it. I mean, she doesn't really ask questions about how I'm doing.
No, I
It's not
mean,
like that, but it's like, I mean, neither of us
if you
care.
have a video, should we take a picture and send it to her so she can?
It's not.
Yes.
It's not.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
No, I don't think we should. But yeah, it's just. Okay, it's really not that big.
It is pretty big. We can see it over here. We can see it from all angles of the You might get that.
Dude, I really don't want it to be that big. I don't.
You gotta do it outside of here.
It's fine. Can we continue with the class? We'll continue with the class.
Yep, now we're going back to our tree
I think
problem.
I'm a transfer.
We want to find the height of the tree. So now the picture is drawn, you need to write an equation. Do you remember that you're going to use a trig function? Sine, cosine, or tangent? Tangent?
Yeah.
Why would we use tangent?
It's opposite over.
Because it's opposite over adjacent. This is the hypotenuse. It's not even marked. We don't want any function that uses hypotenuse. We need opposite over adjacent. So we'll write tan 32 equals x over 37. And then how will we solve that? We'll multiply both sides by 37. So x equals 37 tan 32. And we'll just type that into our calculator. 37 tan 32. And we get 23.1. What? Okay, let's see. How about, 61 has a ton of parts. So let's look at 61. Go through step by step. It would be great if you could get all these points.
What number?
61. All right, A is easy. A says find the components or the coordinates of vector AB. Okay, now that's easy. If you are at A and you go to B, how do you move? So you're going from 1 to 3. That's 2 steps. Then we're going from -4 to +2. Gibran? Now, I'm not making you sit in the front, and you need to earn that by behaving, or I'll make you sit right up here.
It's a thing on this side.
-4 to 2, 6. So these are the coordinates of the vector. Again, it's easy. We're starting at 1, going to 3, that's 2. You're starting at -4, going to 2, that's 6. Now, B says, B is we've already talked about. B is this notation. What did we say that notation meant? Don't say absolute value. It looks like absolute value, but it means magnitude. So if you draw the vector 2, 6, that's over 2 up 6. Over 2 up 6. This is the magnitude. Pythagorean theorem. So how long would it be? 4 plus 36, root 40, which is 2 root 10. Now, boys and girls, every one of these problems is on the exam. We've just done 2 with magnitude, right? So if you know how to do magnitude, you're going to get those 2 questions right. Okay? Now, there aren't 62 questions. Remember, there's only 31 because it's split. There's 2 of everything on the review sheet. How about that number?
Yeah, I want 2 questions of the easy.
Now, We want a unit vector in the same direction as AB. Anybody remember how to find a unit vector? We take the original vector and we divide it by its magnitude. To find a unit vector, you simply take the original vector, 2, 6, and divide it by its magnitude. And if you want to reduce that, great, and if you don't, that's fine with me. Now we want a vector in the same direction with a magnitude of 4. Anybody remember how to do that? You take this one and times it by 4. Because how long is this? It's a unit vector, so it's how long? 1. I want it to be 4 units long, so all I have to do is times it by 4. So that would be 8 over 2 root 10, but I times by 4, 24 over 2 root 10. So how did I get the unit vector? How did I do C to get the unit vector? I took the original and divided by magnitude. Then I took this one and times it by 4, because they want the length to be 4. If they wanted the length to be 6, I would have times by 6. I need a vector equation for line AB. Now the vector equation is the one that looks like this. Do you remember what goes in this first parentheses? Here are our 2 points. We're writing a vector equation. Do you remember what goes in here? Tell me the story again.
What?
Why are you rolling in right now?
We can do to school.
You just got to school?
Yeah.
Okay. What goes in this first parenthesis? Did you check in at the front office?
Yes.
Okay. What goes in this first parenthesis? 1 of your 2 points. So I'm going to go ahead and use 1, -4. I'll just use the first one. Do you remember what goes in the second parentheses? The vector, not the other point. Not the other point. The vector goes in there. So this is the answer to E. The answer to F is x equals 1 plus 2t and y equals -4 plus 6t. What?
Is that 2?
Yeah, that's this vector right here.
Wait, what?
So I just went through number 61 and I did A through F. Right? So maybe on your own time you could practice 62 and do exactly what I did. The numbers will be different. All right, let me pick another one. Let's see. Let's do 16. 16 looks unusual.
16?
Yeah, 16.
Thank you. What's this out of? 30?
All right, so number 16. Given cosine is 4/5, and theta, what does this mean? Can anybody remember what that means?
Oh, yeah.
It means it's in the first quadrant, because pi is 180 right? So pi over 2 would be 90. So we're between 0 and 90. This is 0, this is 90. This is 180, this is 270, right?
What problem is this?
So if we're between 0 and 90, we are in quadrant 1. Now what do I know about that triangle? His cosine is 4/5. Now why did I label my triangle like that? Because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse. Now, could I find the third side of that triangle?
Yes.
Yes, I could. Doing the Pythagorean theorem, right? Jordan, you okay? Yeah. You're not on your phone, are you?
It's 3.
Now, can I answer the question? Find the sine of theta. Opposite over hypotenuse, so the sine of theta will be 3/5. The answer is 3/5.
So did you know it was in the first quadrant because pi is 180 and
Yep. 29.
Which number is this?
29. Does anybody remember? All right, so Katie remembers, actually no, Katie, these two switch. So this is a 0 and this is a 1. Anybody remember what happens to these two? So that becomes a positive and this becomes a negative. Taylor and Maya? One graduate. Now, this is only half. Does anybody remember the other half? Well, no. Well, sort of. I need to find the determinant of this matrix because I'm going to multiply this by 1 over the determinant. So the determinant here is 0 minus -2. What's 0 minus -2? Positive 2. So it's 0 minus -2, so that would be positive 2. So then I take that 1/2 and I multiply. So 1/2 times 0, 1/2 times -2, 1/2 times 1, 1/2 times 1. Here's the answer to the question. Now, I know we're all like wishing we were doing something else, but guys, you've got to, this is easy. If you just pay attention, this is easy. These two switch, these two get opposite signs, or they change their signs, so negative becomes positive, positive becomes negative. Multiply by 1 over the determinant, and to get the determinant, you take 1 times 0 minus -1 times 2. That's how you get the determinant. Uh, 39. In how many ways can 8 people be seated in a circle? 7 factorial. We got that one down. All right, number 44. That was, the one I just did was 39. Now I'm doing 44. 44.
About 39. 50, 40.
All right,
41, right?
now this is 44.
Oh, you add them all up, divide by 2, and then times by the sides. Right?
Okay, no. I am finding angle A. Now, when I find angle A, or when I find an angle or a side, I gotta use either my law of sines or my law of cosines.
Oh, C squared.
Okay, in this case, Katie, it would be 11 squared.
Oh my gosh, I know this. Oh, isn't it like side? You find the parameters.
This is the Heroes formula, which is a way to find the area. You're on the right track. I mean, you started the law of cosine. Anybody know? She's doing the law of cosine. She's doing the right thing. Anybody remember what 11 squared is going to equal? 9 squared plus 13 squared minus 2 times 9 times 13 times the cosine of angle A. So if you have forgotten your law of sines and cosines, it's 5.5 and 5.6 in your textbook. Hopefully you still have your note sheets. Now, 121. I don't know why I keep yawning.
Are you tired?
I'm just depressed today.
Oh.
9 squared.
This is our last day.
Because you're not going to see me no more. That's
What is this vote for? Miss Ford, I'm not just going
Oh,
to.
never mind, Miss Ford. You might see me. You might see me again, but
All right, I can add these two together, so that's how I got 250.
Why are you depressed, Miss Ford?
Now I'm going to multiply 2 times 9 times 13. Okay, I think there's something you guys are on the verge of your going off to college and all this excitement, and that's great, and that's awesome, that's how it should be. But you have been a part of my life every day. I'm not going to cry. Every day for all these weeks.
I love you, Miss
I'm thinking
Ford.
about Miss Ford.
And it's how it's supposed to be.
So no final.
Yeah, Miss Ford. I love you so much. I might come
I'm
to
gonna get so sad.
Not only to learn,
Just
but to
for,
be with you as
I mean,
well.
all this positiveness, if somebody just right on the tip of almost there, I don't know.
Do you love me enough to pass me? That's real love. That's family love.
That's okay, I might start crying because I think she really is going to look at me.
My mama will cash
She
me.
tried so hard. I just don't.
Okay, so angle A, I just went through and did the work. Angle A turns out to be 56.54. Now, what I don't want to have happen is, I don't want you to get this all set up right and then type it in your calculator wrong. Remember, these two can be added. It's just a 9 squared and a 13 squared. They can be added. These can be multiplied, 2 times 9 times 13. But these cannot be subtracted because this one has a cosine and this one doesn't. Do you see what I'm saying? So I have to bring the 250 over and then divide. And then, I didn't show that step there because I was out of the room, but how do I actually get the angle? How do I go from the cosine to the angle? What button do I have to press? Well, reverse cosine, second cosine, inverse cosine is what I have to press. Because when I do this division, I'm going to get a decimal, 129 over 234, whatever that is, I get a decimal, and then I have to second cosine that, or inverse cosine that, or reverse cosine that. And that's how I got 56.54. Okay? All right, let's see. How about 28?
Yeah.
You guys have learned a lot of stuff this semester. Well, we've talked about a lot of stuff. Hopefully you've learned it. Let's see. find out, won't we? This is number 28. Now, how do we do this? This should be another easy one. Katie Baumgartner, put the paper away. Tyler, do you have a 93 in this class?
No, ma'am.
Then put the paper away.
Don't you go from right to left?
I have to do something first before I get started. Does anyone remember what it is?
The columns.
I have to take the first two columns and write them down out here. All right, so I have the first two columns and I copy them down exactly. And then I multiply these three numbers. Notice where I start, right here. This is the beginning. I multiply. What do I get when I multiply those?
-0.
I get 0. And then I multiply these. And I multiply these. And I total those up. So these times each other, these times each other, these times each other, all add up to 6. Then I go this way. What do those multiply to give me? 0. These give me a -2, and these give me another 0. So they total up to -2. Now, does anybody remember what I do with those two numbers? Subtract them. So 6 minus -2 would give me an answer of 8. Everybody should get that right. Right? That should not be an issue for you. Number 7, this is recent. Everybody should get this right too. It says find the vertex. This is a parabola. What's the vertex of this parabola? -1, 3.
Is that it?
That's it. Done.
What number was that before?
That's number 7. Do not ruin my last day by packing up early.
I'm gonna cry when I do this.
Miss Farr, I'm not packing up early. Take note of that.
Number 10.
Yeah, same here.
Number 10, find the exact value of the sine of 45. So we are going to draw a 45-degree angle. Then you need to know how long the sides are in that 45-degree angle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
What are the sides of a 45-degree 590? 1 root 2. Now, what do I want to know? I want the sine. I'm looking for the sine of that.
Opposite over it.
Opposite over hypotenuse would be 1 over root 2, which we will rationalize root 2 over 2. All right, one more. Cosine. Cosine 60. Same kind of problem. This is number 9, cosine 60. So we're going to draw a 60-degree angle. There it is. Okay? What are the sides of a 30, 60, 90 triangle?
What are you doing?
1 to
2 root 3.
Across from the 60 is root 3. The hypotenuse is 2. Right? I want cosine. What's cosine? Adjacent over hypotenuse, so that would be 1/2.
All right.
I will not see you when you come in to take your exam.
My last hug of the
You
year.
gotta go take it
Hopefully
somewhere.
my last hug of the year.
Make sure you
Hopefully my last hug of the year. I would hate to go come here and do it.
do not show up without a calculator. So when
My last hug, I would hate to come. I would hate to come and do it with you. in our period for a while. Why are we wearing uniforms? Do we really have to do it? Every day.
First.
Put your phone away.
I'm actually Yes, there was. Kieran.
Oh wow, that would have been bad. I'll get my iPad.
Yep, get your iPad right here. There. Bye.
I don't know, Miss Ford. I think my homework grade it might get me in this final.
I don't know.
It might be our last one.
I hope so. I hope so. Oh, bye. It's gonna make me cry.
I hope so.
Bye. See ya. Hi.
He started crying last year. This was
Huh?
our last class.
What?
Probably started. He was
So
like
did
tearing
I.
up. Aw. Miss Ford, I love those tie-dye dresses. I was gonna ask Mr. Vogger where he got those dresses so I could make myself one because I'm an OCAM. But he said he had to order it from a catalog.
He did, he ordered it.
Yeah.
for me.
I think he's making you another one this year.
He is.
He makes you one every year. How many do you have?
I only have two.
Oh, okay,
And this
so-
is my favorite one. Is Monday period 9 and 8?
That's so sad.
Okay, so right now, they're good, they now.
Do I have cupcakes?
Yes.
And then I have eclairs.
Oh.
Oh,
Oh, you're
eclairs. Did you do that on purpose?
Black seed.
No. I didn't.
So they're out for sure.
That Jensen.
I think Diane should be good.
I used to love it. I've kind of become an adult this year.
This is the only reason that she get anything from admissions.
Because I would have been so there.
I know.
Okay. And Jane Cassius should be done.
Are you Claire Elizabeth? I have a cousin whose name is school. He goes by Marshall, but
It's done.
his first name is technically like Thomas, but his last name is like Gometti, so they changed the order of it because otherwise his initials would have been MTV.
Patrick Abel.
Yeah.
Although I don't see what the problem is with that.
This is how many they have to, they
That's
still
how
have
many
to.
they still
MTV. Sorry, I thought you said MTV. I was like,
No, so now it's like
TF,
TFV.
okay, her I exempted because MTV would have been cool,
yeah.
so she's good.
Like, why do people not have
Her mom.
Better than
like
like,
see Diamond? That is the like one of the coolest things I've ever heard in my life.
yeah. It's really unfortunate that her middle name doesn't start with an S though.
Audrey did,
Okay, well, I can see why you
Well, I
want
mean,
your
obviously-
initials to be LS.
But like,
but-
well, like Lucy,
two
and
and a
then
couple
like,
kids.
I don't know, like,
But the
what if her middle name
Diamonds
was like
is cool.
Sky, like Lucy Sky Diamond, or like Diamond.
I would simple.
Yeah,
The
like, I
problem
never-
is the LSD.
Yeah, no, I know,
That's
What
a
about
I
the
know.
ones that have
I know,
tin?
but
But
like,
that wasn't really,
Spitting or-
like the actual like
Those
words
kids,
and
I
stuff.
had no contact with them.
But the
The
LSD
ones I
is
circled,
Yeah.
I
It's
just
a
know
child.
We're
are,
done.
no,
They're out.
they're out, they know they're out. Those kids that already know.
Well, I don't know, what other drugs are like?
Morgan,
That's what, I feel like the ones I can think of are four.
I mean, she didn't do, she
Yeah.
didn't have it, right?
Right.
So.
The rest of them are like four though. I didn't know that, I didn't know what that was until this year, I thought it was a normal name.
Somebody's.
And then one time my sister, they were learning about like drugs at the school, and I picked her up one day from school, and she's like, hey Nico, have you ever hung out with Mary Jane? And I was like, what are you talking about? And
She,
she's like,
okay,
she's
Claire's
like,
not
Mary
done
Jane
yet,
is close
because she
friends
is
of
doing
yours, and I was
the
like,
Relay for Life, which is afterwards, but she should still be good, because Dr. Greer, these kids are just one there. We could have missed one some.
They literally highlighted everything, like there's, like, more highlighted than there is not highlighted. That makes me nervous when they're,
Isn't he the one that did the serial run?
I'm really nervous about this because this is the last quiz, and these quizzes are like really hard, and I have like a 94 in class, so if I like vomit, then I'll have to take the final.
Next year, we'll
But I haven't done better
the
than like.
kids know what the expectations are, these kids, and so.
Yo, Claire got food. Right, so Claire brought
Jane
food.
Martin.
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
Claire's.
She didn't mean to do it, but I was like, oh my God.
This is Delaney.
Patrick O'Neill.
Oh, he's, he and Noel, they had to be on Noel. Moss, do you know if he turned in
I can tell.
any tutoring hours?
I'll have to do it.
I feel super bland.
So the ones who have a check mark, we're putting through, and I need to fill them in on my chart, on my spreadsheet.
Now, Wigan, he did something, he went to, didn't he go to Panama? Would have had his chance, and didn't do it.
No, it's Mary Rogers, but maybe she goes by
she
something
goes by
else.
Belle.
It's Bell, yeah.
I think I'm just gonna like beg Claire or beg,
Yeah.
That is not okay.
beg.
No, just kidding.
Okay, 8th study session or recreational soccer game.
Recreational soccer.
Well, the Spanish teachers were asking me, they're like, is Joey not tutoring anymore? Because they love having him. The spreadsheet.
Can't be in the
But you
program.
already have all of your study guides.
All right, the only one I'm not sure about.
You alright, Claire?
I'm very tired. I got like 3 hours.
Whoa. Yeah, me too.
I'm gonna have to email Mossman.
Oh my god, guys! Guys, our class name is on the wall.
It is.
What is that?
Copy and see.
Yeah,
We
and
didn't
hey,
realize
here,
there was a-
here's, I want you guys, Nicolette, I want you guys to run down, I made sister a big cake today, so I want you guys to run down and have cake with her third period class. Right
Can we
now.
take,
Yeah.
can we take
Wait,
a,
can we get our
can we
eclairs
take a
first?
class pic?
And
We can when we come back.
Can we get our eclairs?
Yeah,
Wait,
go
what's
down
happening
to
right now?
sister's room and have a piece of cake. Okay, so acres,
These are definite outs.
these are definite outs. I'm just making a list because I'm gonna have to email, I'm gonna email the parents and let them know ahead of time. Some of these parents already know.
I think this will be easier next year because we would have had the kids both years.
See, Mossman is the one I'm worried about, because I had a deal with him, but yeah, no, he didn't fulfill it with Shayna. He's just so close.
We have to know this by today.
I know,
Always Monday.
so, I'm gonna. No, Roger's mom is gonna freak out. Okay, so acre 6, grant 8, so this is on meeting D.
Mm-hmm.
That's outrageous. Car did nothing. Docs did nothing, ever talked to his mom. Okay,
Carter? Track boy?
okay.
If they have a check mark, I need to mark them complete on my
Yep.
spreadsheet.
Yep,
Okay.
there's a check mark, so there should only be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and there's 2 I'm gonna check on by the end of the day. Shared acres.
Oh, you didn't write the circle ones, did you?
No, because I've already,
Talked
talked
to
to
them.
them,
Okay.
so they already know.
So you have 16?
And I will bring that to, yeah. I had 18, I have 16 now.
All right.
I've already talked to them.
Okay.
And there's a possibility,
Mossman could be put
I
back
need
in.
to check on Mossman, and I need to check on, Bill Rogers. Everybody else, except for Carter King, everybody else has more than half to go.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous.
At this point in the year.
Hey, it'll just be done by the 26th. Okay,
You need to do anything else?
now I'm gonna go try to find Spencer Mossman right now.
Thought the breakfast turned out nice.
Yeah, it did, thank you. Oh, shoot, is that 50 still